Abdu'l-Baha explained that we have three characters: innate character, inherited character, and acquired character. With regard to the innate character, although the divine creation is purely good, yet there are varieties of different capacities in the world of humanity that comes from the difference of degrees. They're all excellent, but they are more or less so according to the degree. So man possesses intelligence and capacities and worthiness, but the intelligence and capacity and worthiness of man differ, and this is quite evident. Take, for example, a group of young children from the same community, eating the same food, living under the same roof, in the same climate, educated with the same subjects and educated by the same teacher. It's obvious that some of these kids will excel in science, some will reach medium level, and some dull. It's clear there is a difference of capacities in the world of existence, and that is due to the difference of degrees. But this difference of degrees does not imply good or evil. It's just difference of degrees in the world of existence. Like the mineral exists, the plant exists, the animal exists, man also exists. They all exist in the world of existence. But what a vast difference between the existence of the mineral, the plants, and the animals from that of man. So it's obvious there's different capacities in the world of existence. That is due to the difference of degrees. Inherited characters are the characters that we gain from the weaknesses and strength of constitutions. Like if the parents are weak, the children will be weak. If the parents are strong, they will have robust and active children. And acquired characters are the characters that we gain from different environments and from education, and particularly from education. Like we were ignorant, but with the creative power of the words and teachings of Baha'u'llah, we acquired knowledge. We were full of vices, but through the creative power of the words and teachings of Baha'u'llah, we acquired virtues. We were full of hatred, but through the creative power of the teachings of Baha'u'llah, we acquire loving kindness and generosity characters. Now concerning our social principles, namely the teachings of His Holiness Baha'u'llah, spread far and wide 160 years ago. These teachings comprehend all other teachings. It is clear and evident that without these teachings, progress and advancements of mankind are in no wise possible. These teachings are even as the tree that beareth the best fruits of all trees. Philosophers, for instance, find in these teachings the perfect solution for social problems, and similarly, as true expositions of matters that pertain to philosophical questions. In like manner, men of faith behold the reality of religions manifestly revealed in these divine teachings, and clearly and conclusively prove them to be the true remedy for the ills and infirmities of all mankind. If these divine teachings be diffused, mankind shall be free from all perils, from all chronic ills and sicknesses. In like manner, the Baha'i economic principles, the embodiment of the highest aspirations of all wage-earning classes, and of economists of various schools. In short, all parties and sections of humanity find their aspirations realized in the teachings of Baha'u'llah. These teachings were declared in mosques, in churches, in synagogue, and in other places of worship, whether they are followers of Buddha or Confucius or Christ or Muhammad or Krishna or Moses or Zoroaster. None find faults in these divine teachings. In fact, when they were proclaimed, all acclaimed the truth of these teachings, acclaimed to be the true remedy for the ills and infirmities of all mankind. These are some of the new teachings revealed by His Holiness Baha'u'llah, peculiar to his revelation, never before revealed to humanity in the past. The appearance of Baha'u'llah fulfilled the prophecies of the past regarding the coming of the universal manifestation in the end time, who is also known as the Messiah. They even tells us the direction where the Messiah will come from. They say he will come from the east, going to the Holy Land, from Assyria, going to the Holy Land. Assyria is now the place where Iran and Iraq is today. On his way to the Holy Land, they say he will go from mountains to mountains, from rivers to rivers, from sea to sea, and from fortified cities to fortified cities. They even tells us the name of the place where he's going to raise up. And in Daniel 8 verse 2 state, Elam will be the place of the vision. And in Jeremiah 49 verse 38 state, I will set my throne in Elam, saith the Lord. Elam is the ancient name of Persia, which is now Iran. And they even tells us the name the Messiah will be known. In Daniel 12 verse 1 state, I will raise up in the end time Michael, the chief prince of Persia. And on Hosea 12 verse 1 state, I will confirm things in the end time with Michael the prince. And on Daniel 10 verse 13 state, I will uphold things in the end time with Michael the prince. Michael, translating to English, is one who looks like God. Another way of saying it, the glory of God. All these were fulfilled in His Holiness Baha'u'llah, whose name means the glory of God. He was born and raised in Elam, the ancient name of Persia, and still there in Elam, his forerunner, His Holiness the Bab, declared his mission in Shiraz, Iran, on the 23rd of May, 1944. And the Bab said that he comes to prepare the way for the coming of him that God shall make manifest, a reference to Baha'u'llah. He was executed with a firing squad on the 9th of July, 1850 in Tabriz. Because of Baha'u'llah's support of the Bab, the authorities sent him to prison in the Siachal, an underground dungeon reserved for criminals awaiting their execution, in 1852. And in that prison, Baha'u'llah received the first intimation of his revelation that he is one foretold by the Bab. He is the one to fulfill prophecies of old about the coming of the universal manifestation in the end time, or the Messiah. Because Baha'u'llah is from a noble family of Persia, his life was spared, and instead they exiled him to Babylon, the ancient name of Baghdad, Iraq. And in there he declared his mission in 1863 on the Garden of Rizwan by the Tigris River. And the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire exiled him further, first to the fortified city of Constantinople, and then to Adrianople, and finally to the fortified cities of Akka in Haifa, Israel. As you can see, the fulfillment of that prophecies of the Bible, that the Messiah would go from mountain to mountain, from rivers to rivers, from sea to sea, and from fortified city to fortified cities, literally fulfilled through Baha'u'llah's traveling through his exile. When he went from the mountains of Iraq to the Mount Carmel in Holy Land, from the Tigris River to the Euphrates rivers in Holy Land, from the Caspian Sea to the Sea of Galilee in the Holy Land, from the fortified city of Constantinople to the fortified city of Akka in Haifa, Israel, the Holy Land. And his sun was set there in 1892, 40 years exactly since the inception of his faith in a seer child in Persia in 1852, and fulfilled one other prophecies of the Bible that says that the Messiah's duration of his mission on earth will be the same time of the Exodus, the time when Moses brought the children of Israel from under the rule of the Pharaoh of Egypt and took them to the promised land, which was called Canaan in those days, which is now Israel. That journey took them 40 years. And Baha'u'llah is interred in Baji, the valley of Sharon, adjacent Mount Carmel, the mountain of God, where his forerunner, His Holiness the Bab, is interred, and where the headquarters of his faith is situated, and where the seat of the Universal House of Justice, the highest administrative body of his faith, resides, and where his teaching is flowing down from to feed his flock. All these are some of the undeniable proofs of Baha'u'llah and his revelation. And there are more and more of these proofs. And we encourage you to read the writings of Baha'u'llah and read about his person. And we encourage the world leaders to heed his call for the betterment of society and the advancements of civilization. Thank you, and I wish you well. Fa tailava manuela fa fong fong maimla fa so sang sa mo soi fu.